This is an excerpt of the book Law, Legislation, and Liberty, from 1973, written by the Nobel laureate economist F.A. Hayek. Cosmos and Taxes. The Concept of Order. Adam Smith, the man of system, seems to imagine that he can arrange the different members of a great society with as much ease as the hand arranges the different pieces upon a chessboard. He does not consider that the pieces upon the chessboard have no other principle of motion besides that which the hand impresses upon them, but that, in the great chessboard of human society, every single piece has a principle of motion of its own, altogether different from that which the legislature might choose to impress upon it. If those two principles coincide and act in the same direction, the game of human society will go on easily and harmoniously, and is very likely to be happy and successful. If they are opposite or different, the game will go on miserably and human society must be at all times in the highest degree of disorder. The concept of order. The central concept around which the discussion of this book will turn is that of order, and particularly the distinction between two kinds of order which we will provisionally call made and grown orders. Order is an indispensable concept for the discussion of all complex phenomena, in which it must largely play the role the concept of law plays in the analysis of simpler phenomena. There is no adequate term other than order by which we can describe it, although system, structure or pattern may occasionally serve instead. The term order has, of course, a long history in the social sciences, but in recent times it has generally been avoided, largely because of the ambiguity of its meaning and its frequent association with authoritarian views. We cannot do without it, however, and shall have to guard against misinterpretation by sharply defining the general sense in which we shall employ it and then clearly distinguishing between the two different ways in which such order can originate. By order, we shall throughout describe a state of affairs in which a multiplicity of elements of various kinds are so related to each other, that we may learn from our acquaintance with some spatial or temporal part of the whole to form correct expectations concerning the rest, or at least expectations which have a good chance of proving correct. It is clear that every society must in this sense possess an order, and that such an order will often exist without having been deliberately created. As has been said by a distinguished social anthropologist, that there is some order, consistency and constancy in social life, is obvious. If there were not, none of us would be able to go about our affairs or satisfy our most elementary needs. Living as members of society independent for the satisfaction of most of our needs on various forms of cooperation with others, we depend for the effective pursuit of our aims clearly on the correspondence of the expectations concerning the actions of others on which our plans are based with what they will really do. This matching of the intentions and expectations that determine the actions of different individuals is the form in which order manifests itself in social life, and it will be the question of how such an order does come about that will be our immediate concern. The first answer to which our anthropomorphic habits of thought almost inevitably lead us is that it must be due to the design of some thinking mind. And because order has been generally interpreted as such a deliberate arrangement by somebody, the concept has become unpopular among most friends of liberty and has been favored mainly by authoritarians. According to this interpretation, order in society must rest on a relation of command and obedience, or a hierarchical structure of the whole of society in which the will of superiors, and ultimately of some single supreme authority, determines what each individual must do. This authoritarian connotation of the concept of order derives, however, entirely from the belief that order can be created only by forces outside the system, or exogenously. It does not apply to an equilibrium set up from within, or endogenously, such as that which the general theory of the market endeavors to explain. A spontaneous order of this kind has in many respects properties different from those of a made order. The end.